Okay, welcome to our shir, our first shir for Tafshin Pei Aleph. And Baruch Hashem, everybody went through a wonderful Rosh Hashanah, and we're all nigzul l'toiv. And now we come to Yom Kippur, to the Yom HaKadosh, and everybody is trembling because we know that's the time when Medarvton Tshuva, we have to achieve heights. We have to get there. And the truth is, when it comes to Yom Kippur, everybody feels a very great hisayrus, a very great hisalus. We all feel we got there. Everybody dressed, we're focused on our pnimius, we're not focused on our chitzonius. We all wear white kittel, white, and to show that everybody's the same. There's no clothing that should separate us. We all come into shul. We don't eat. We don't drink. There's also things that separate us. So nobody's eating a steak while the other person's eating a potato. Everybody's going to be the same, and everybody's going to reach heights of kedusha. We just feel so spiritual. And one of the great challenges of Yom Kippur is staying on a Madrega. And one of the things that we daven very often, right after we open the Sefer, after Shmoneh Esrei, open the Aron Kodesh at night, and we say the David Mizmor. And one of the psukim that we say, and the Chazan always says it with a trembling voice, Mi Yaleh Bar Hashem, Umi Yakum Bimkom Kadshai. How do we go up to the Har Hashem? How do we reach the Madrega? And there's a bigger challenge. We go up, we're so excited, Mi Yaleh Bar Hashem, we made it up to Hashem. We made it up to the Har Hashem, we made it up to a Madrega. We got there in Yom Kippur. We feel so good. We feel mamish accomplished, we've done it. But then we face the second challenge. And David HaMelech spells it out so beautifully. Umi yakum bimkom kadshai. Who can stay on that great Madrega? Staying on that Madrega is not an easy thing. So I'd like to make a suggestion on how we can stay on that Madrega and how we can keep a little bit the hisayrus of this holy day, of the day of Yom Kippur, and keep it with us. Maybe we have to go back to work, we have to go back to eating, we have to go back to wearing different clothes. We're not going to wear white forever, and we're not going to fast forever. But maybe we can keep some of the Madregas. So I'd like to make a little suggestion. I heard a vort one time, another thing that we say throughout Elul, we say L'David Hashem, Ari V'yishi, we say Acha Sha'alti M'eis Hashem, Oisa Vake Shifti B'veis Hashem, Kol Yimei Chai. That David HaMelech says, I want one thing from the Rebbeinu Shloim. I want to stay in his Beis HaMikdash, in his Beis Medrash, Shifti B'veis Hashem Kol Yimei Chai. And then he said, Lachzas B'nayim Hashem, beautiful. I should be in the Beis Hashem. I'm going to be mamish, sit in the Beis. It's going to be mamish, Gan Eden Atachten. I'm going to be there mamish in Gan Eden. But then David HaMelech says a second thing. He says, U'levakir b'hei and I'm going to Levakir b'hei cholim is like the word Becker cholim. I'm going to come and I'm going to visit. Levakir, I'm going to be vakir. I'm going to come temporarily. I'm just going to come a little bit. So it's doch a stira. I heard a pshat. It's a stira. Does David HaMelech want to stay in the base of Medrash his whole day? Achshad Beis Hashem. Oh, so vakir shifti b'veis Hashem kol yimei chayai. Or does he want to be levakir b'cholo just to come to visit? So I heard a nice pshat in that. And I mentioned this rochim in the shir many times because I love this pshat so much. Is I give a mashal. Rochim, you come to Manhattan, or you used to come to Manhattan in the good old days, in the pre-COVID days, there was mamish filled with tourists, filled with people who came from all over the world, hundreds of countries they'd come. And you'd watch them, and they're sitting there mamish in awe, and they're looking up, and they're seeing mamish in the flyers, look at these big buildings, look at all these people. You go on a vacation, you go to the Grand Canyon, you go to these places, and everybody's mamish in the flows habayra, they're looking up at the Rebbeinu creation, they're so excited. But then you take a look at the people working there, it's vachadik. They go past these things every single day. The workers in Manhattan are going every day. Doesn't mean anything to them. You go to the great parks, you go to these things, and the people are working, they look bored. Some showing gesehen, they saw the Grand Canyon, they saw, Old Faithful and all of these things. So to them, it doesn't make the same rochim. So David HaMelech says, I'm going to tell you, I want to be in the base of Medrash. I wanted to be there kol yemei chayai. But I'm worried. I'm worried that after a certain time I'm going to become like the workers in Manhattan or in the parks. I'm going to become vachadik. I won't have the same geschmack, it won't do it for me anymore. It won't be what I was looking for. So David Melech says, I need a second thing from you, Rabbi Shalom. Really, within my Achas, he said Achas Shalti, he's getting me two things, right? Achas Shalti. But within Achas Shalti, I need a second thing from you. In order that it shouldn't become mundane to me, it shouldn't become vachadik, I need levaker behechalo. I need it should be like the first time. Every time I want to walk into that base medrash, I want to walk and go, ooh, this is exciting. Wow, look at this. This is beautiful. You see a packed base medrash, you're going to Panav Yeshiva, you're going to Mir Yeshiva, and you walk in, you go to Lakewood Yeshiva, you go and you go, wow, look at this. I got it, right? You learn that every day, it wears off. So David Melech said, I want it to never wear off. So I had occasion to say this at a bar mitzvah, and also Baruch Hashem said I like this part. I said it to a new at a Shavuot brachas, and the same thing applies. The bar mitzvah boy, I said, during the course of your life in mitzvah Hashem, if you made a cheshbon, you're going to be waving. You're going to lulav and asterisk. It's 107 years. You're 13, 120, 107 times. You're going to be living times how many? Look how many times. How many pounds of matzah you're going to eat during your career? How many times are you going to hear the shofar blown? How many Yom Kippurs are going to go through? How many days are you going to sit in school? How many days are you going to sit and learn? Give you a bracha. Like David HaMelech, it should be levaker bechalo. Every day it should be new. So I'm thinking, mi ala bahar Hashem, umi yakim b'mkanchai. That maybe we can look at it as a palindrome. Palindrome means you can read it both ways. So mi yala bar Hashem umi yakim b'mkam kadshai. The answer is mi yakim b'mkam kadshai. How do you stay there? Mi yala bar Hashem. That every single day you should look like you were going bar Hashem. Remember, I had one time I learned with a person that grew up from, and I learned the Rashi with him, and he said. And I learned the Rashi, and then I say the Rashi, okay, the Rashi says, and then whatever. And he went berserk. He went, what chachma, what wisdom, what genius. Look what Rashi said. And he was beside himself. And I looked at it and I said, you're right. I'm schuldig that I didn't see it with that frischkeit. I was told that Rabbi Yisrael Salanter bought a new siddur every 30 days. Because it should be new, like when you get a new zman. Remember when we were bachrim, so every new zman, your parents got you a new gemara, and you cracked open the gemara. And you smelled the freshness of it. It had such a geschmack. It was so beautiful. You learned, you couldn't wait to get started. So mi yakim b'mkam kadshai. How do you get there? Mi yala bar Hashem. To always be in a state of being Yala Bar Hashem. If you're always in a state of Yala Bar Hashem, it'll never get vachadik and you'll never fall off. So that's what I think what we have to do. We have to try to come to Yom Kippur and not look at it as, Nacha Yom Kippur. And believe me, after this year, I don't think anybody's saying that. This year, I think we're going to have an easier job than we had. I'll never forget, after 9/11, the Aguda made an asifa. 9/11 was 2 days before Rosh Hashanah, or a few days before Rosh Hashanah, and they made an asifa. And in those days, there was no emails, and there was no all these things. There was no text messaging and WhatsApps and so on. You had to put up the old-fashioned way. You put up signs, and people came. 2,500 people showed up in 24 hours because there was such a cheshik. We wanted guidance. We wanted to know what to be punished and willed from us. So I think after this past year, the Shnatz Tafshin Pei, the Shnatz Kovid, it'll be remembered in history, is a time when we all want to be close to Rebbe Shalom. We all want to have Yom Kippur. It's going to be a frishka. We have to use it. We have to use this whole tekufa. And we have to say, this is not like any other year. I'm not just doing it again. It's not just, no, Nachamal, I made it last year, I'm going to make it this year. Nebuch, we don't know. We have to really, really daven hard. We have to daven with a frish kite, with a newness. was thinking that this week said we're going to come to Shabbos Tshuva and say Azina Shemaim Adebera Sishmarat Imrifi. We'll listen to the words Azina Shemaim. We'll listen to the Heilige Verta. We'll go up there, and we'll go up and we'll climb up to that Madrega. We'll be on the Madrega of Shemayim for that day of Yom Kippur. And if we do that, then Sishmaritz, then when we have to come back to this world, and we have to come back, hopefully we'll be able to keep that Madrega. So let's use the year that we've gone through, the year of Tavshin Pei, and all the nisyanis that it had. Let's use it, l'tayv. Let's use it to be Yaleh Bar Hashem. And let's use it to keep the freshness. And in that way, we'll also be Mekayim, Ubi Yakum Kadshay. Everyone should have an easy tinus. Everyone should be able to be Matzliach, and it should be a good Kibbenchur for Klal Yisrael. So when we'll turn around next time, we'll say, what an Aliyah we all had. Mashiach is gekommen, and we all came to the Gula Shlema. A good Shabbos and a Gemara Chasima Tov.